Hello.
Oh, hello. Hi.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening too.
Yeah, so have you gone through the previous topics?
Yes, I've gone through the previous topic related to like pre-security. So yeah, went through it.
Okay, so did you see the last task which I have given, like web application security?
Application security.
Yeah, it was of practical example of web application security.
I no this. I went through which one is it?
Like after this broken access control and cryptographic failures, it was
Okay.
having a practical example. Yeah.
Oh, this one. No, this one I didn't. I went through like the first topic. Offensive, defensive, security carrier. I went through each of those.
Okay. So once you try this one also, please this practical example by
Okay.
your own. Yeah. And if you get any doubt, you just ask me afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah. So we will just move forward. Today we will complete introduction to offensive security. In this, we will start a new topic, operating system security, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So first of all, do you have any knowledge about what is an operating system?
Yeah, it's like the system that we normally use in our PCs, laptops, Android uh, to run our application or so like that.
Yeah. So let me just give you a brief. An operating system basically manages all the applications and programs in a computer, and it is loaded into the computer by a boot program. It is enabled to interact with a computer's hardware, right? Like where software and hardware can interact. So through
Okay.
a designated application program interface, the application program requests service from the API, and with the help of kernel. Um, Kernel basically is a software that contains the operating system's core components, right? So this is basically used to run all other programs. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll just go through this. Every day we use smartphone or laptop or almost any type of computer. We directly or indirectly interact with an operating system. So operating systems are like MS Windows, Mac OS, iOS, Android, Chrome OS, and Linux, right? So, but basically, what is an operating system? So, to define an operating system, we need to visit one computer term, hardware. Yeah. So, computer hardware basically refers to all the parts of computer, right? Like which we can touch with our hand. So hardware include basically the screen, mouse, keyboard, printer, then flash drives, and many other. Okay, so it's written here like as shown in the figure below. The desktop board contains many components, in particular central CPU and RAM. So although not shown in the image below, that is desktop board is usually connected to a storage device, right? HDD or SSD.
Okay.
So the desktop board is the main part of the computer and other pieces of hardware from keyboard and mouse to screen. Yeah. So, however, hardware components by themselves are useless because until and unless there is no software running in the hardware, it is of no use, right? So we need an operating system to control and drive them. So the operating system basically is the layer which sits between the hardware and the application, and in that we run the program. So
No.
yeah, so programs we would use daily might include a web browser such as Firefox, Safari, Chrome. Yeah, so all the programs and applications cannot be run directly on the computer system. However, they mostly run on the top of the operating system. Okay, so these programs are allowed to basically run with the help of operating system. So some of the basic like operating systems are like MS Windows Server 2022, IBM AIX, and Oracle Solaris. Okay, so there are multiple operating systems we can use on our personal computer and server. And one more example of operating system is Linux, which is day by day growing increasingly. More people are nowadays shifting to Linux because ethical hackers basically they find it easy. Okay, so your smartphone might be running Android or iOS, and you might have plenty of private data on it. Examples like private conversations, private photos, email client, passwords, and e-banking apps. So the list of confidential and private data goes on. We basically and mainly nowadays we store more of the data, our personal data and sensitive data in our phone because it is handy to carry. Okay, so you don't want someone you don't trust to open your phone and go through your photos, conversations, and apps. So we need to secure our phone and its operating system, right? And the same goes with the laptop also. So it also keeps various information, plenty of information. So the list can get very long depending on the type of user and considering the nature of the saved data and what you want to secure. Like for different person, the security level is different. Okay, so when we basically talk about the security, we in the first class only we discussed like we need to secure the three things: confidentiality, integrity, and availability, because these three things are the principle of like information security, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So in this task, the first question is given like which of the following is not an operating system. So here only we learned like three to four operating systems like MS Windows Server, IBM AIX, and Oracle Solaris. So these three we know, and Chrome OS also and Android also, but Thunderbird is not an operating system, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
What
Uh,
is Thunderbird anyway?
uh, yeah. So Thunderbird basically is a free email application that is easy to set up and customize according to your use case. Okay. It is email application basically.
Okay.
Yeah. So in the second one, it is written like common examples of OS security. So as we mentioned in the previous task, like security is concerned with attacks against confidentiality, integrity, and availability. So in this room, we will focus on the three things like authentication and weak passwords, then weak file permissions, and malicious programs. So first one we will go through is like authentication and weak passwords. So first of all, authentication. So authentication is the process of verifying the identity of any user or device or system. Yeah, to ensure that it is genuine and authorized to access to a particular resource, right? So it is the very crucial component of security systems, and this plays a fundamental role in protecting sensitive information and preventing it from unauthorized access.
Okay.
So authentication can be basically achieved by three main ways. First one is like something you know, such as password or PIN, and something you are, like our identity, right? Like fingerprint, IVS, biometrics. And third one is something you have, such as phone number through which we can receive an SMS. So these three things are basically the crucial component of authentication. Okay. Yeah. So now, since passwords are the most common form of authentication, like it is the most basic one. When you basically like buy a new phone, the first thing you will do is like set a password for authentication. Okay. So they are almost but um, setting password is the most easiest one, and it is also most vulnerable to the hackers because it can be easily cracked. Okay. So many users tend to use easy to guess passwords or same passwords on many websites. Some people, what they do, like if they have five Gmail account, they will set password for the five Gmail account the same password. Like if it is admin123, then they will set the same password for the same sorry, all email accounts. Okay. So if the hacker gets the password of the one account, he can generally get the or he can hack all the five accounts, right?
Okay.
So, moreover, some users rely on personal details such as date of birth, like they make the password, which is the mixture of date of birth and name of the pet or something. Okay. So, however, attackers are aware of this tendency among users. Like they know the mentality of the normal users. Like what can they put the password or what can they how can they use their personal details to make a password. Okay. So, the National Cybersecurity Center, NCSC, has published a list of um, 1 lakh most common passwords. So, we will just look at top 20 passwords in the table below. Okay. So, like these are the most commonly used passwords, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is okay. So, like dictionary words such as password, I love you, monkey, and dragon are the most commonly used by the users. So these words not in the dictionary include like QWERTY, QWERTY, and 1Q2. Like these parts passwords are not most commonly used, but nowadays it is also frequently used. So these seemingly complex passwords. So we must always use the passwords which are more complex, like uppercase, lowercase, and then numbers, and then the special characters. So we must use these kinds of passwords so that it can be less predictable by the hackers. Okay. So,
Okay.
in brief, if the attacker can guess the password of any of your online accounts, such as your email or social media account, they will be able to gain access to your private data. Okay. So therefore, it is vital that you choose complex passwords and use different passwords with different accounts. Yeah. So now we will just move into weak file permission. So yeah. So weak file permissions basically refers to improper or inadequate access controls set on files and directories, which can lead to unauthorized access, data breaches, and other security risks. Okay. So in work environment, you want any file accessible only by those who need to access it. So you will set the permission level, right? Like admin can access the whole portal, and the employee can access only the um, employee portal. He should not get the access of the admin portal, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the principle of least privilege on the simpler terms. Who can access what? Okay.
Okay.
So weak file permission make it easy for adversary to attack confidentiality and integrity. If like the admin portal access is given to the employee, he can easily make the changes and access all the admin details, right? So it can affect the confidentiality and integrity of the company. So they can attack confidentiality as well as weak permissions allow them to access files they should not be able to access. So moreover, they can attack integrity as they might modify files that they should not be able to edit. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So, like by implementing proper file permissions and regularly reviewing and maintaining them, companies can mitigate the risk associated with unauthorized access and data breaches and other security vulnerabilities, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So the next one is access to malicious program. So, like access to malicious program refers to the situation where unauthorized users or attackers they gain entry or control over a system which allows them to install, execute, or run malicious software, generally malware, on the compromised system. So, this access can occur through various means such as exploiting vulnerabilities, social engineering, or unauthorized physical access. Okay,
Okay.
yeah. So, some common ways in which access to malicious programs can occur are like attackers often target known vulnerabilities in operating systems, applications, or plugins to gain unauthorized access. So by exploiting these vulnerabilities, they can execute malicious code and then they can install malware on the system.
Okay.
And the next one is like phishing and social engineering. So phishing attacks involve tricking users into revealing sensitive information, such as their login credentials or downloading malicious attachments or clicking on malicious links. So social engineering techniques manipulate users into taking actions. Like basically, social engineering manipulate the users into giving their confidential information to the hackers. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So some types of malicious programs are like Trojans, and I have told you about Trojan horse in the last session also, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So consequently, the attackers would be able to read your files or even modify them. Okay. So some types of malicious programs attack availability. One such example is ransomware. So I have told you about ransomware also. Like it is a
Yeah.
malicious program. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like threatening the user to give money to allow them to access the program.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll just move into the first question. Like, which of the following is a strong password in your opinion? In this code,
It's the second one.
yeah, but I have told you now, it was earlier, it was strong password, but most of the users nowadays also they are using it. Okay.
Okay.
So here you can see it like here it is a mixture of like uppercase, lowercase, and then numbers. So this is more
Okay.
stronger.
Third one is
Yeah.
okay. I get
Yeah.
it.
And we'll just move into the practical example also. Yeah. So, in one typical attack, the attacker seeks to gain access to a remote system. We can accomplish this attack by tricking the target into running a malicious file or by obtaining a username and a password. So, after discovering a username, we will try to get the password. Uh, in the last session, also, I have told you about the brute force attack where the hacker first of all gets the username and with the help of the brute force attack, he gets the password, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So furthermore, we'll try to escalate our privileges to a system administrator. This account is called root. Okay, like administrator account is called root on the Android, Apple, and Linux system. So in the Windows system, it is called administrator. So we'll just start this machine. Okay, so in this task, we will try to hack into a Linux system. We assume just a second. Yeah, we assume that you have never used a Linux system before, and we will explain accordingly. Okay. So start the attack box. Yeah. Um, Once they are both ready, you can. Yeah. Okay. So, what are the commands you have learned before in the Linux system? Can you tell some?
Um, like SSH, then move, um, actually like forgot of.
Okay, great. We'll just learn here also. Okay. So, on the attack box, we have to start the
Yeah, who
terminal.
am I? Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Yeah. So, we will just start the terminal. First of all, we will just wait like 2 to 3 minutes and we'll just start the terminal. So we will just cover the Linux commands. So like who am I is to like know who is the current user of this Linux system. Okay,
Okay.
yeah. And second one is SSH, then username. So SSH basically is the secure shell. This is the cryptographic network protocol widely used for secure remote administration and securing file transfer between two systems. Okay, so it provides a secure way to access and control remote devices or servers over an unsecured network such as the internet. Okay, so SSH basically encrypts the data exchange between the client and the server. Okay,
Like here, could you give an example? Like, is it like a getting access to an IP address or like a device or something like?
No, basically, SSH basically it is similar to like VPN. Like in the VPN also, it VPN creates a private tunnel between the user and the sender, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So SSH also basically creates a private like channel between the user and the sender when there is a file transfer going on between them. Okay.
Okay.
So SSH basically is used to remote login any system.
Okay.
Yeah. And the ls command is basically used to display all the directories which are present in a system. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the cat file name. So cat is basically to open any file.
A file is it like any text file or something? Which
Yeah.
files?
Text file or yeah. Yeah. And the history basically is to see what were the previous commands which were used. Okay.
Okay.
First of all, I will just show you the example of these five. Okay. So who am I? Is basically I'm the root user currently.
Okay.
Yeah. So I will just move into the ls. I will just tell this specific one later. So ls command is basically to display all the directories and folders, right? Like desktop,
Yeah.
downloads, instruction. Yeah. And if you want to move inside this directory like desktop, so we'll just write here cd then desktop. Okay. And
Okay.
we are inside the desktop. And if we ls command, yeah. So if we want to open this like mozo made dot hyphen 15 dot desktop, I think this is the file. So if I want to open it, I will just write here cat mozo hyphen made hyphen 15. Okay, then enter. Yeah, so we can in the with the help of cat command, we can just view all the content. Okay,
Okay.
yeah, and with the help of history, we will just we can see what were the previous commands. Like these were the previous commands. Okay, so we will just come out from this desktop. So to come back from this like directory, we will use cd, then dot dot. Okay,
Okay.
yeah. So we are just outside this desktop. We will just clear this. Okay, so we will just move forward. We were hired to check the security of a certain company. When we visited our client's office, we noticed a sticky note with two words, Sammy and Dragon, on one of the screen. So let's see if Dragon is Sammy's password on the target machine. This. So like from here also we can. This is the target machine, right? IP address of target machine. Okay,
Okay.
this one. Yeah. So from the tag box, we will try to log in into Sammy's account because this is currently we are in our own system, right? But if we want to log in into Sammy's system, so we will just get the help of SSH, okay, for the remote login.
Okay.
Yeah. So I will just write here SSH, then Sammy at the rate, and then the IP address. Okay, this is the IP address of the target machine.
Is Sammy the username?
Yeah, Sammy is the user.
Okay.
Yeah,
And the IP address of the PC that he's using, right?
yeah. So here I will just write 10 to the power, 10 dot 10 dot 44 dot 186. Okay, and I will hit enter. So are you sure you want to continue? Yes. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So it is asking for password, right? Sammy's password.
Okay.
So there were two sticky notes. So we will just try upon this dragon. Okay. So I will just write here dragon. Let's see it takes the password or not. So yeah. So you can see here the login has been successful. So in the SSH like login, the passwords are not displayed. Okay, like when I was entering the password, it was not displayed.
Okay.
Yeah. So we are now currently inside the Sammy's system. So the interaction on the attack box terminal is shown below. Okay. Okay. Then amazing, it worked. Let's confirm that we are logged in Sammy's account using the who am I. So I will just write here who am I. So yeah, I'm Sammy right now. So please note that following when entering the password over SSH, when you log in via SSH, we want able to see the password, right? So to list the files in the current directory, we can use ls short for list. Okay, so we'll use the ls command here.
Okay.
So ls. So you can see here just three, like four uh, text file like country.txt, then password.txt, and then draft.md, and these two are the photos. Okay, so we'll just like move into this password.txt, like what is it having? Okay, the content. So I will just write here cat, then password.txt. Okay, so here it is written Sammy and Dragon. So
Okay.
in the terminal below, we see the usage of the four command ssh, umi, ls, and cat. Okay, so in the draft.md also it is having something. So we'll just see cat draft.md, enter. It is written like reusing password means that your password for other sites become exposed if one service is hacked. Okay. So in our brief introduction to Linux, the last command that we will cover is history. Okay. This command prints the command used by the user. So with the help of the history, we will see were the commands or the commands which were used by Sammy. Okay. So I will just write here history, and we can see here these were the like commands which were used by Sammy. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So okay. So we have learned about two other usernames that can access the attached machine. They are Johnny and Linda. Okay. Okay, right. So we know that both of these users have little regard of for cybersecurity best practices. So we can use several ways to guess the password for these two users. Like here we list two approaches. Like if we are not logged in as Sammy or any other user, you can use as a Johnny. So we will try to switch into Johnny. So su command is used to switch user. Okay, like I am currently Sammy. So if I want to switch my user account, so I will just use the command su. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So I will just write here su hyphen then Johnny. Okay. Enter. So it is asking the password. So here, if you are logged in as Sammy or any other user, you can use su hyphen Johnny and manually try one password after the next to see which password works for Johnny. Okay. So here in the first question, it is asked like because currently we are not knowing the password of Johnny. So we'll see like based on the top seven passwords, let's try to find Johnny's password. What is the password for the user Johnny? So we'll just move forward like above and we will see like in this top seven, we will see like which one is the password of Johnny. So I will just try first one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and hit enter. Okay, it is saying authentication failure. So as I know, like this is the answer. Okay, so I will
Okay.
just try this one. So as you have in Johnny, then the password is ABC123. Enter. Yeah. So we are now inside the Johnny. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So now it is like once you are logged in as Johnny, use the command history to check the commands that Johnny has typed. So again, I will just write here history. Okay, history, enter. So these were the commands which were used by the user Johnny. Okay. So here it is said like we expect Johnny to have mistakenly typed the root password instead of a command. What is the root password? So here you can see uh, in this seventh number, it is the user Johnny is switching to the root user. Okay,
Okay.
okay. So he has mistakenly like typed the root password like happy hack exclamatory ng. Okay, so this is the answer for this. Like what is the root password? So this is the password for the root. Okay,
Okay.
yeah. And while logged in as Johnny, use the command uh, su-root to switch the root account. Acha, I forgot to tell you, like, the full form of su is sudo, okay?
Okay.
Yeah. So, uh, we will just use this command. So, su hyphen root, and then we will just copy this here, and I will just paste enter. So, yeah, we are inside the root user, okay?
Okay.
Yeah. So, now I will just, it is asking for display the contents of the file flag.txt. So we have to find this text file. Okay. So I will just use the command ls to list all the like directories and files which are like in this system. So this is here flag.txt. So I will just write here cat flag.txt and enter. So this is the flag which we have got. Okay. So the answer for this was phm. You got root. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So from the root user, like we got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So was this easy?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll just move forward. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me just close this. Okay. So we have completed operating system security also. So we'll just move forward. Okay. So the other one is network security. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So basically, what is a network? So network is the group of computers and devices which are connected with each other, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So network security basically focuses on protecting the security of these devices and links connecting them. So network security is set of technologies which protect the usability and integrity of companies' infrastructure by preventing the entry or like yeah entry within a network or wide range of potential threats. Okay, so
Okay.
network security basically is composed of tools that protect the network itself and the applications that run over it. So effective network security strategies employ multiple lines of defense that are scalable and automated. So here it is written like network security consists of different hardware and software solutions to achieve the set security goals. Hardware solutions refer to the devices you set up in your network to protect your network security. They are hardware, so you can literally hold them. And a hardware application might look something like the image below. Okay. So now the examples of like hardware appliances are first one is like firewall appliance. Okay. Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes. I can hear.
Yeah. So firewall appliance. So a firewall appliance is a hardware device, or we can say a network appliance, specifically designed to enforce network security policies by monitoring and controlling incoming and outgoing traffic. Okay. So it acts as barrier between internal network and external networks. So it is based on some predefined set of rules that it allows and blocks the connections. So
Okay.
yeah. So like there are various key factors of like firewall appliance like packet filtering, then stateful inspection, and new generation firewall. Okay. So
Okay.
the second one is intrusion detection system or IDS appliance. Okay. So IDS system detects sorry an IDS detects a system and network intrusion and intrusion attempts. It tries to detect attackers attempt to break into your network. So basically, it is a security technology that monitors network traffic or system events to identify and respond to potential security incidents or we can say intrusions. So basically, IDS works by analyzing network packets, log files, or system like activity in real time, looking for patterns or signatures that indicate malicious or suspicious behavior. So basically, they detect the system, like if any malware is entering into your system, it will basically detect the malware. Okay, like it basically monitors and then responds potential security incidents. Okay,
Okay.
yeah. And the next one is intrusion prevention system. So an IPS blocks detected intrusions and intrusion attempts. So the main difference between IDS and IPS is like it monitor IDS monitors and it do not provide any alertness or like any prevention method. But on the other hand of IPS, it monitors the system and if it finds any of the malware or intrusion, it blocks and gives alert to the user and it provides some preventive measures. Okay,
Okay.
yeah. And the next one is VPN, which is known as Virtual Private Network. So it is a technology that creates a secure and encrypted connection over a public network. So basically, VPN is the private, like creating a private network in public network. Okay, like I am right now connected to the public network, but with the help of VPN, I will just communicate with the other user, like securely within the private network. Okay,
Okay.
so it allows the users to access private networks or browse the internet securely and privately. So, a VPN ensures that network traffic cannot be read or not altered by a third party. It protects the confidentiality and integrity of the sent data. And
Okay.
on the other hand, we have software security solutions. Common examples are like antivirus software. So, like it is written, you install an antivirus on your computer or smartphone to detect malicious files and block them from executing. So antivirus, which are known as anti-malware software, these is a type of security software which are designed to detect, prevent, and remove malicious software, commonly referred to as malware, from computers and other devices. So its primary purpose is to protect systems from various types of threats, which include like virus, worms, trojans, and many other malicious programs. And
Okay.
the next one is like a host firewall. So host firewall, also known as the personal firewall, or we can say software firewall. This is a type of firewall that operates at the individual host or entry point, we can say, sorry, endpoint level. Okay. It is a software-based security solution which runs on a computer or device to monitor and control incoming and outgoing network traffic. And this provides an additional layer of protection for that specific host. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So, like it is written, unlike the firewall appliance, a hardware device, a host firewall is a program that ships as a part of your system, or it is the program that you install on your system. Like we have like Windows Defender firewall in our Windows, right? So this is the part
Uh,
of like host firewall.
okay.
Yeah. So the next one is according to the cost of data breach report 2021 by IBM Security, a data breach in 2021 cost a company of $4.24 million per incident on average. In comparison with $3.86 million in 2020, the average cost changes with the sector and country. Okay. So here the first question is, what type of firewall is Windows Defender firewall? So now only I told you like it is the host firewall, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll just move into the methodology. So every operation requires some form of planning to achieve success. Like if you are interested in wildlife photography, you cannot just grab a camera and head to the jungle unless you don't care about the outcome. So, for a safe and successful wildlife photography tour, you would need to learn more about the animals you want to shoot with your camera. This includes the habits of the animals and dangers to avoid. The same would apply to a military operation against a target or breaking into a target network. Okay, so breaking into target network usually includes a number of steps. Okay, so according to Lockheed Martin, the cyber kill chain has 7 steps. The first step is recon, which is known as reconnaissance. Okay,
Okay.
so this refers to the first phase of gathering information about the target system, network, or organization. Like it involves actively seeking and collecting data of the targeted system to gain a better understanding of the target's infrastructure, potential vulnerabilities, and other relevant details. So here, the data can be gathered from various sources like OSINT tool. I have told you earlier only, and then network scanning, DNS enumeration, OS lookups, and then social engineering. There are various tools and techniques for reconnaissance. So in the reconnaissance, informations which are gathered are like which are the types of servers used, operating system used, and then IP address, the name of users, and email address. So these details are gathered from various sources like social media, then various sources, right?
Okay.
Okay. So the second one is weaponization. So this step refers to preparing a file with a malicious component. So, like this basically is the process of taking advantage of vulnerabilities and exploits or techniques to develop or then modify software. Okay, it involves using these resources to launch attacks or carry out cyber operations with the intention of causing harm. So, like for example, to provide the attacker with remote access, weaponization is used. Okay,
Okay.
yeah. So now next one is delivery, which means like in the weaponization, like if the hacker creates a bug or we can say not bug, any of the malicious file, right? So when he creates, the next step will be delivery of that file, right? So it can be delivered with the help of email or USB flash memory or SMS. Okay,
Okay.
yeah. So then the next one is like exploitation. So when the that malware file is delivered into the victim's system, then the user, like when he gets the malicious file, then obviously he will, a normal user will, obviously they will open the file. Okay. So when they open the file, that system executes the malicious component because there are various process or we can say methods where the attacker sends the malicious file to the user, and when the user just they click on the link or we can say they open the malicious file, the malware automatically exploits into their system. Okay,
Okay.
yeah. And the next one is installation. So the previous step should install the malware on the targeted system. So once the malware is executed, then it will download various malware on the targeted system. Okay.
Okay.
Then command and control. So the successful installation of the malware provides the attacker with a command and control ability of the over the target system. So once the installation is done of the malware in the victim's system, the attacker will get the access of the victim's system. So he can just he can just you do remote login and access the victim system, and he can just get all the access over the target system. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the next one is actions on objectives. So after gaining control over one target system, the attacker has achieved their objectives. And one example objective is data exfiltration. So what is data exfiltration? I will just tell you.
Okay.
So basically, data exfiltration is stealing target's data. Like when the attacker he gets the control over the target system, he will basically get the unauthorized extraction, transfer, or removal of sensitive or confidential data from the victim's system. Okay, he can take various valuable information without the proper authorization, and he can use those information into like performing malicious activities. Okay,
Okay.
yeah. So another analogy would be a thief interested in target house. The thief will spend some time learning about the target house, like who lives there and when they leave and when they return home. So the thief will determine whether they have security cameras and alarm system. So once enough information has been gathered, the thief will plan the best entrance strategy. So the same thing is done by the attacker also. Like they will observe all of the activities, like when that when the user on this system or when they leave the system and what are the work they do into the system, and then when all the information are gathered, then the attacker will prepare all the methodologies and strategies of with the help of malware, and he will then enter into the victim's system. Okay,
Okay.
yeah. So the first question is, during which step of the cyber kill chain does the attacker gather information about the target?
Reconnaissance.
Yeah, the answer is recon. Okay, and we will just move into the practical step. So, we will try to hack into a target Linux system in this task. We assume that you have never used a Linux system, okay? So we have to just start the attack box, okay? And then uh, we will just uh, start the terminal by clicking on the terminal icon. Okay, so the first step of our attack is recon, and we can speed up our reconnaissance activities using different tools that gather information.
Okay.
So, like various reconnaissance tools are like uh, Nmap. There are various reconnaissance tools. Like yeah, Nmap is the one of the best one, and then Multigo, then the Harvester, then Shodan, and
Okay.
Ocean Framework. So there are multiple like reconnaissance tools from where we can gather information about the target. Okay. So for simplicity, we will use a single tool in this task, Nmap. So Nmap is the short form for network mapper. So this is the powerful and widely used open source network scanning tool. It helps to discover hosts, then identify open ports, and determine services which are running on those ports, and then gather other networks related information. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So here it is written, Nmap is a network scanner that helps us discover running machines and any programs running on them that are visible to the outside world. The IP address of the target is 10.10.217.137. So this is the target IP address. Okay, so we will just perform all of the activities in this. So we can scan it by running. So Nmap uh, command is like Nmap and then the IP address. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so we can just, with the help of Nmap, we can get all the details like which are the open ports and what are the running status. Okay, so we will just wait till the machine is initializing.
So the NM only allows for the open ports.
No, no. Basically, Nmap tries to find all the open and closed ports. It will tell both open and closed also, but you can just get into the open one, right? Because
Okay.
what it will do of the closed one. So Nmap basically tells both open and closed ports, and after that we have to just get into the open one.
Okay.
Yeah. So I will just and open the terminal, and the first command will be nmap 10.10.217, then 137. Okay. So here it is given like three ports are open, like TCP, FTP, and SSH and HTTP. Okay. These three are open.
Okay.
So like we just discovered three things like services running in the this system. Sorry, system no, this IP. So first one is like FTP server. So FTP stands for File Transfer Protocol, and this is the software application that enables the transfer of files between computers over a network. So FTP basically is for file transfer, like when files are transferred with the help of this FTP protocol. Okay,
Okay.
yeah. So it allows users to connect to the server and authenticate themselves and perform various operations. And the next one is SSH server. So SSH basically stands for secure cell. Yeah. So this is a software application that allows secure remote login to the computer or server over a network, right?
Okay.
Yeah. And the next one is HTTP server. So HTTP stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol, and this is used for websites. Okay. So whenever you browse the websites, you are using HTTP or HTTPS. So HTTPS is the secure one because it is encrypted version of HTTP. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can also notice that Nmap reports on which on whether the host is based on whether it receives and responds from it. Like this is useful to know when no ports are open or accessible. Okay. So let's try to gather more information about the FTP server. So we will just get into the FTP server. Okay. So we will just connect to this same IP address with the FTP server. So I will just use the command FTP, then same 10.10.127. Sorry, 217.137. Okay, enter. So like it is asking for the username, right?
Okay.
So next we will try to log in using the anonymous to see if the FTP server supports anonymous login. So to our okay. So basically, anonymous login is a feature provided by some FTP servers. This allows users to connect to the server without providing any of the authentication credentials, like without username or password. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, it enables anonymous users to access certain files or we can say directories on the server. So with the help of anonymous, it will not ask any of the like username or password. So we will just try it here, anonymous. Okay, enter. So yeah, it is saying that login successful. Remote system type is Unix and you using binary mode to transfer files. Okay. So currently we are inside this FTP server. Okay.
Okay.
So we try to see the files available using the command ls. So I will just write here ls command.
So already like got access to that IP address?
Yeah. So like anonymous base this command not generally works every time, but in this case it worked. Okay. Like in some cases it will ask for the username and password. So for the username and password, we have like worked in the previous task only, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so we can follow that method for username and password. And if it is allowing anonymous login. So this also is the best one for this FTP login. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So now we get a list of files name along with the details. Okay. So these are the permissions. Okay. Do you know about these permissions?
Permission. Which one?
Yeah, this RWR, this.
Yeah, I probably like is write, read, write. First one actually like forgot. The first one is
Yeah,
directory.
yeah, this is the read write execute like now. Like if we will see of the secret.txt, like it is based on like there are three users, right? Admin, then super user, and then normal user, right?
Yes.
So this line is basically of the like this one, first one is of like admin, then user, super user, and then the normal user. Okay.
Okay.
So when we see about the secret.txt, so admin has the access of read and write, and the super user has the access of only read, and the normal user also has the access of read. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
What does X stands for?
X stands for execute.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like he can make the changes or not. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So, like, if you are curious about any file, you can download it using get file name. So, get command is basically to download the any of the file. Okay.
Okay.
Like cat was to open, but get is to download that file. Okay.
Okay.
So, we will just try to open all these files, all not all. Like we will just open this two last two files. So, I will just get then backup dot sh. Okay. So there is not something exit like yeah. So we'll just move into secret.txt. Okay. So I will just write here get secret.txt and enter. So it is saying that transfer completed. Okay. So the files are being downloaded. Okay. Like here also it in the backup.sh the file has been downloaded and in the secret.txt also it has been downloaded into the system. Okay.
Okay.
Now, so once you have downloaded the files, type exit or buy to quit the FTP client. So I will just exit this. Okay. And then look at the files. We notice six files. Okay. We'll just, with the help of ls command, we'll see what are the files. So this was the file, right, which we have done right now downloaded, secret.txt and backup.sh. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So, like after we download the file secret.txt with the ftp command, get secret.txt and exited the ftp client using exit, we return to the terminal. Let's display the content of the secret file. So secret.txt is a normal text file. So with the help of cat also, it can open. So secret.txt, then hit enter. So we got the password. Something it is the password. I don't know what is the pass. What is this password
Now is
for?
it executable?
Yeah, it is now executable.
Okay.
Acha, if you want to like change the like file permission, right? So
Okay.
there is a like command like chmod. Chmod is to set permissions, then plus 7 wait capital R then 777. So this command basically chmod is to give permission and 77 is to read, write, and execute. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
and hit enter. Yeah, we can just hit enter. So just a second. Okay, so this was the command. So after this 777, you just write the password, sorry, password, no, text file which you want to like add the permission. Okay, like if I want to add permissions to backup.sh, I will just write here chmod 777 and backup.sh. It is not plus, it is minus. Okay, here.
Uh, s- could you repeat?
The command for like giving the like permissions to any of the text file or any of the file, the command is chmod -r then 777 backup.sh. So this will allow like for earlier the backup .sh file was only read, write, execute, read. Okay,
Okay.
this one. So after that, after passing this command, All the read write execute command sorry permissions are set to administrator also, then super user also, and then the normal user also. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyone can execute, read, and write. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So after that, with the help of this cat secret.txt, we got some password, right?
Okay.
Okay. So we have kept the password hidden. Okay. Okay. And it is said that it can be used to answer the first question. So we can just move into the first question. Like, what is the password on the secret.txt file? So this was the password right here.
Yes.
Yeah. So now we'll just move further. Okay. So it must be the password of one of the accounts unintentionally copied to a public FTP server. So let's try to see if it works with the root account. The root account has the full privilege on our Linux system, meaning that it can read and write and file and install and remove any program. At terminal, we type ssh root at the rate then the IP address, and we will be asked for the password. So let's try the password we discovered in the FTP server. So we will just try this. Okay. So I will just write here ssh ssh root at the rate 10.10.217.137. Okay, enter. So I will just, okay, are you sure you want to continue? Yes. And then it is asking for password. So I will just try this password. So I will just copy this and here I will just paste. So here, yeah, so this password basically worked. So this was for the root user, okay?
Okay.
Yeah. So, so congratulations, you now have complete control over the target system server. Let's collect a couple of flags after logging in as root. We use the following Linux command. Like pwd command is for print working directory. So basically, pwd command shows current working directory. So we are currently inside the root user, okay? Sorry, root directory. Like if I would have been inside the flag.txt, like cat flag dot sorry cd snap. Okay. So now if I would have done pwd, it would have been shown like we are inside the root user, and then inside root we are inside the snap. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So pwd basically works in this way. Okay. So we'll just come out from this. Okay. So we notice a flag.txt right here. So use cat flag.txt to answer the second question. So the second question was like, what is the content of the flag.txt in the slash root directory? Okay. So this is the flag.txt. So we will just open it with the cat flag.txt. Then hit enter. So here, the flag we get here is CHM FTP server owned. Okay.
Okay.
So this was the answer for the second question. And the third question is, what is the content of the flag.txt in the home librarian directory? So what we will do is like, we will just move into the home directory. Okay, so cd slash home. So we are
Okay.
currently inside the home directory. Okay, and I will just type ls command to see whether there is a librarian directory or not. So yeah, here it is the librarian directory. So I will just move inside the librarian. So cd librarian, enter, and then again ls to view all the files. So here you can see there is again flag.txt, right? So I
Okay.
will open it with cat flag.txt, then enter. So here, this is the third flag we got. Okay. So this was the answer for the third one also.
Okay.
Yeah. So here we used nmap command to basically check for the open ports and closed ports and filtered, unfiltered. and what are the running services in our current target IP. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, with the help of the FTP server, we basically get to know about the files which were being transferred between this IP. Okay, and
Okay.
we discovered various passwords which were mistakenly copied also to a public folder, which was the first password. This was the first password, right? And we used the passwords we found to allow to log in us into root user, and we then got all the access to all the user files. Okay, and we successfully got all the flags, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So was this hard or it was easy?
Um, yes, easy.
Yeah. So you just later also you just try it by your own. Okay. So we will just take
Yes.
for like 5 minutes break. We will just continue at 7:15. Okay.
Okay, sure. No problem.
Yeah. Okay. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. So we have completed our introduction to cybersecurity and introduction to offensive security. And now we will move into introduction to defensive security. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So first one is like intro to digital forensics. Okay. So forensics is the application of science to investigate crimes and establish facts. So digital forensics is the branch of forensic science that involves the identification, preservation, analysis, and presentation of digital evidence in legal proceedings. Like it is the process of uncovering and interpreting electronic data to investigate and prevent cybercrimes as well as to support criminal and civil investigations. So, with the use and spread of digital systems such as computers and smartphones, a new branch of forensics was born to investigate related crimes, which is known as computer forensics, which was later evolved into digital forensics. Okay,
Okay.
so here it is given a scenario like the law enforcement agents arrive at a crime scene. However, part of this crime scene includes digital devices and media. So, digital devices include desktop computers, laptops, digital cameras, music players, and smartphones. To name a few, digital media includes CDs, DVDs, USB flash drives, and external storage. A few questions arise like how should the police collect digital evidence such as smartphones and laptops? What are the procedures to follow if the computer and smartphones are running? Okay, so there are multiple types of like forensics. Like forensics is also divided into two types, like live forensics and non-live forensics. Like live forensics basically means like if in the crime scene, if the like police or yeah, they get the system or the laptop is in running stage. Okay, so they do not have to like first of all just close the laptop or something. Okay, so that process where the system isn't in running state, so that is known as live forensics. That evidence must have been collected from the live device which is running. Okay,
Okay.
yeah, and in the non-live forensics like gathering devices from the phones which are already closed and laptops which are already closed. Okay, so the second question is how to transfer the digital evidence. Are there certain best practices to follow when moving computers, for instance? So we have like learned in the previous session, like bit by bit copy of the evidence, right? So
Okay.
here in the digital evidence, like it is transferred by bit copy. Okay, so evidence is copied into the another like flash drive or memory card by copying the bit by bit. Okay, and like third question is how to analyze the collected digital evidence. Personal device storage ranges between tens of gigabytes to several terabytes. How can this be analyzed? Okay, so assuming this employee is suspected in the figure above, we can quickly see the digital devices that might be of interest to an investigation. So we notice a tablet, a smartphone, yeah, a digital camera, and a USB flash drive in addition to a desktop computer. So any of these devices might contain a trove of information that can help with an investigation. So processing these as evidence would require digital forensics. So more formally, digital forensics is the application of computer science to investigate digital evidence for a legal purpose. Like digital forensics is used in two types of investigations, like sector investigation and private sector investigation. So public sector basically refers to the investigation which is carried out by government and law enforcement agencies. Okay. So they would be the part of crime or civil investigation. And when we talk about the private sector investigation, they basically refer to investigations which are carried out by corporate bodies, like private investigator. Okay, so like they're in-house or outsourced, they are triggered by corporate policy violations. So main difference is like public is basically done by government and private is done by the private investigators. Okay,
Okay.
yeah. So whether investigating a crime or a corporate policy violation, part of the evidence is related to digital devices and digital media. This is where digital forensics comes into play and tries to establish what has happened. So, without trained digital forensics investigators, it won't be possible to process any digital evidence properly. Okay, because we don't know how to process like digital evidence properly, right? Because we are not digital forensics investigators. So without any trained digital forensics investigator, it will be not possible to process any digital evidence, because if we try to access that digital evidence, it might be altered or some damage must be caused. Okay, so therefore
Oh,
we must take the help of some trained digital forensic investigators. So here it is written like consider the text in the photo above. Okay, here this is the photo. So in addition to the smartphone, camera, and SD card, what would be interesting for the digital forensics? Like
uh, um, anything,
yeah, besides smartphone, camera, and SD card, what
a
are
laptop,
yeah? So the answer for this question is laptop. Okay, and now we will see digital forensics process. So as a digital forensic investigator, you like arrive at a scene similar to the one shown in the image above. So, what should you do as a digital forensic investigator after getting the proper legal authorization? So, the plan basically the steps are like first of all, uh, digital forensics basically involves various stages and steps. Like, although the specific details may vary depending on the organization or we can say the nature of investigation, but some of the main general overview of the steps are like first one is identification and planning. Okay, so we have to first of all here define the scope and objective of the investigation. Then
okay,
we must identify the type of digital evidence that might be relevant. Like in the above photos, we must have to like classify which are the evidence, like which are the devices which can be taken as the evidence. Okay, so here we have to identify the type of digital evidence. Okay,
okay,
and then we have to determine the resource and the tools and the personnel needed for the investigation. And after that, we have to establish a plan to analyze the evidence. And after that, this was the first step, like identification and planning. And the second step is collection and seizure. So we have to identify and locate the relevant digital devices. Like when we find the digital evidence, we must collect them, such as the laptops, storage devices, and digital cameras. Okay.
okay,
And during this process, we have to follow proper protocols to seize and secure the digital evidence. Okay.
okay,
So basically, uh, seize means like this is the process of identifying and locating and securing electronic device, or we can say storage media that may contain any of the relevant evidence. Okay,
okay,
and then when we have to follow the proper protocols to seize and secure the digital evidence, which ensure that integrity and there is no alteration in the data. Okay, then when during this process we have to document the chain of custody. Okay, the chain of custody basically is the process like from where the evidence was collected, and the device is sorry evidence is given to whom. like all the details are written in the chain of custody. Like after the investigator, it was transferred to which party, and after that, what was done to that evidence. Everything is written in a systematic order in the chain of custody. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, because if there is a tampering in the evidence, who would be the who would take the responsibility of that? Okay, so that's why the chain of custody is maintained. And then this was the second step. Like the first step was identification and preservation. Sorry, identification and planning. The second was collection and seizure, and the third step is preservation. So we have to create a forensic copies, which is known as forensic imaging, which we have studied like bit by bit copy of the evidence. So with this help of bit by bit copy, the original evidence is like imaged into another copy. Okay, and then here, forensic tools and techniques are used to create bitwise copies, capturing all the data and all the metadata which are associated with the digital evidence. And then the forensic copies are stored in the secure and controlled environment to prevent any of the accidental modification. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. And the fourth one is analysis step. So here, the forensic copies are examined and using specialized forensic tools and techniques. Like various tools and techniques are used to examine the forensic copy. And then, if any data, like some data and information are lost, so they are recovered and extracted from files, folders, and deleted information and metadata. Okay,
Okay.
yeah. And then, after recovering the data, reconstruction and analysis is done of the logs and events. And after that, there is the identification of potential sources of evidence such as emails, chat logs, and internet browsing history, and various user activities to gather various information about the evidence. And then the last step is reporting and presentation. So document entire investigation process is documented, including the methodology and the tools which were used and all the findings which were found with the help of evidence. Okay, and then a comprehensive report is prepared, which presents the findings in a clear and concise manner, and then it supports the documentation including screenshots, logs, and metadata. And after all these, the findings are presented in the format which are suitable for legal proceedings. Okay,
Okay.
yeah. So it's important to note that throughout the digital forensics process, investigators must maintain the integrity of the evidence. Like they must follow legal requirements and respect privacy rights. And additionally, the process may be iterative and they require investigators to revisit various steps because this might be like evidence must be anytime they might be tampered. So they must be revisited many times so that evidence is not lost or tampered. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So I explain all the steps. Okay, so for more generally, according to the former director of the Defense Computer Forensics Laboratory, Ken Zatio, uh, digital forensics includes like proper search authority, like investigators are committed with the proper legal authority. Okay, then chain of custody is maintained, like who is holding the evidence at what time and when it was transferred to whom. Then validation with mathematics, like using a special kind of mathematical function such as hash function. So basically, hash function is like when a plain text is passed through some hash function, so it creates a hash value, and then the hash value is sent to the uh, receiver. And when the receiver gets the hash value, he uses the same hash function which was used by the user, right? So he uses the same hash function to encrypt it. And when the hash function of the user and the sender and the receiver matches, then it says that there is no modification has been done during the transfer. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And then use of validated tools. Yeah. So digital forensics include using various validated tools. And then repeatability. So the findings of digital forensics can be reproduced as long as the proper skills and tools are available. Then at last, reporting. So the digital forensics investigation is concluded with a report that shows the evidence related to case. Yeah. So it is essential. The first question is, it is essential to keep track of who is handling it at any point of time to ensure that evidence is admissible in the court of law. So what is the name of documentation that would help establish that?
Chain of custody.
Yeah. So basically, chain of custody is the documentation. Okay. So now we will just
What
move.
sort of tools are like normally used here?
What?
What sort of tools are normally used here for digital forensics?
Okay. So tools for digital forensics are like password kit are there, then in case is there, then access data forensic kit, a toolkit, then autopsy and X-rays forensic. There are multiple. Okay. So one
Okay.
of the most favorite one is like mine is volatility. It is best for the digital forensics.
Okay.
So if we get a time further, we will just view one's volatility also. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So we will just move into the practical step. So everything we do on our digital foreign device, from smartphones to computers, leave traces. So let's see how we can use this in the subsequent investigation. So our cat Gado has been kidnapped, and the kidnapper has sent us a document with their request in MS Word document format. So we have converted the document to PDF format and extracted the image from the MS Word file for your convenience. So you can download the attached file to your local machine for inspection. However, for your convenience, we have added the file to the attack box. To follow along, open the terminal. Okay, so we'll just start the attack box and we'll just move into this directory. Okay,
Okay.
yeah. So we'll just wait till the attack box starts. So are you understanding all the topics right, like perfectly?
Yeah. There are some like I've started before. These are like remembering all those stuffs.
Okay, okay. So can I know what are you currently doing?
I've like started my master's in cyber.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so let me just give you a brief about like metadata, like what are basically these. Okay, do you have any knowledge about metadata?
Is it some kind of like some data inside it? There are a lot of data.
Yeah, yeah, it is that only. Okay, so we will just move forward. So document metadata. So when you create a text file, txt, some metadata gets saved by the operating system. Okay, so such as file creation date and last modification date. So, however, much information gets kept within the file's metadata when you use a more advanced editor, such as MS Word. So, there are various ways to read the file metadata. You might open them within the official viewer editor or use a suitable forensic tool. So, note that exporting the file to other formats, such as PDF, would maintain most of the metadata of the original document depending on the PDF writer used. Okay. So, let's see what we can learn from the PDF file. So we can try to read the metadata using the program PDF info. So one tool which is inbuilt in Linux is PDF info, okay, for gathering metadata.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll just move inside the terminal and we will just get into this directory. So cd slash root slash rooms, okay, then ls. And then we have to go into intro digital forensics. Okay, then CD intro digital forensics. Okay, enter. Yeah. So after that, we will just see what are the files or directories which are inside this directory. So these are the files. So like it is yeah. So PDF info displays various metadata related to PDF files such as title, subject, author, creator, and creation date. So consider the following example of using PDF document.pdf. Okay. So here the PDF metadata clearly shows. Okay. So using the PDF, find out the author of the attached PDF file. So we will just we have to just find out the author of the attached PDF file. So this is the PDF file, right? Ransom letter
Okay.
or PDF. So we will use the PDF info and then ransom
What does PDF info do?
PDF info basically gets detail about the PDF. Okay, and it gets metadata like when it was created, when it was modified, all the details about the PDF file. Okay,
Oh, okay.
yeah. So PDF info ransom, then letter dot PDF. Okay, enter. So we have to find the author. So here it is given author is Anne Bree Shepherd, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so author of this PDF file is Anne Bree Shepherd. So in this way, we can just get all the details like title is we can get title, then subject, then who is the creator, who is the producer, and then JavaScript is used or not, then what is the creation date and then modified date. It provides various details. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So there is one more tool I remember that is exif tool.
Sorry.
Yeah. Exif tool, EXIF tool. Yeah. Yeah, this
Okay.
is here. Yeah, this is the tool, yeah. So this is basically done for the image file format, okay? So PDF info was for PDF and EXIF tool basically is for photos, okay?
Okay.
Yeah. So now it is given like EXIF stands for exchangeable image file format. It is a standard for saving metadata to image files, okay? So whenever you take a photo with your smartphone or with your digital camera, plenty of information gets embedded in this image. So the following are the examples of metadata like camera model is there, date and time of image captured, and then photo settings like focus length, aperture, etc. Okay. So because smartphones are equipped with a GPS sensor, finding GPS coordinates embedded in the image is highly probable. So the GPS coordinates, that is latitude and longitude, would generally show the place where the photo was taken. So there are many online and offline tools to read the exact data from images. So one command line tool is exif tool. Okay. So exif tool is used to read and write metadata in various forms such as JPG image. So in the following terminal window, you executed exif tool image.jpg. So there is a JPG file, this letter image JPG. Okay. So we'll just use this command exif tool to get the metadata of this image file. So exif tool and then letter. This is the file name, letter hyphen image dot jpg. Okay, then hit enter. Okay, so here this is the details which we have received. Okay, so uh, like if you take the above coordinates and search one of the online maps, you will learn more about this location. Like search Microsoft Bing Maps or Google Maps for this. So it is give like when we done the exit tool in this image, we got the GPS position. Okay,
So exif tool is similar to like PDF info.
yeah. the only difference between PDF info and this exif tool is like PDF info is basically for the PDF files, and exif tool is for the image file.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So here, okay, so this is the like coordinate given of the GPS location, right? So it is like we can find, right, with the help of GPS also we can find the location, right?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So like by using this, it is given. We notice that coordinates were converted to decimal representation on the search page. That is this. So we will just find that like whether it is given the GPS or not. So we'll just move once. Yeah. So here, wait just a second. We must have to find the coordinates of the location. So okay, so this was the like location given, but here it is written like we replace degree with this for our search to work. So you just search this GPS location in your Google Map, okay, and it will give you the like location.
Okay.
Yeah. So once we get the GPS location, we can just go through that. Yeah, here it is. Yeah. So this was the GPS position 51 degree 30 uh, it's 51.90, and this is the
Okay.
GPS position. Okay. So what you just do afterwards, you just open your Google Maps and then you just write this GPS position into that. Okay. And if it
Okay.
asks for the GPS latitude, you just write this. And if it asks for GPS longitude, you just write this. Okay. And you
Okay.
can just get this Milk Street location. Okay.
Okay.
Once
Okay.
once you try, and if it not works, I will just tell you afterwards. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So it is said like what is the camera model name of the camera used to take this photo? So again, we have to find the camera name here.
Model name.
Yeah. So I think it was somewhere above. Uh,
s-
yeah, here it is. Okay. Canon EOS R6. It is lens. Just a second. Camera model name it is asking. Yeah, camera model name here it is. Okay, Canon EOS R6.
R6. Okay.
Yeah, so this is the answer for this. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll just close this. Okay. So was this easy about the digital forensics? Did you understood all the topics like how to find and how to use these tools?
Yeah, I got to know new tools, some exif tool, and yeah.
Yeah, so you just practice. Okay. So there are multiple like websites also like HackerRank and like uh there are multiple for CTFs also. So you just go through that websites.
Is this the thing you're teaching me? Is it under like um a pre-security? Because I'm not finding that option.
No, this is not of pre-security. It is of, I think, introduction to cybersecurity currently.
Oh, okay. I probably got in the wrong one. Okay. That's what
Yeah,
I'm not finding.
yeah. This was of
Interesting.
introduction to cybersecurity, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So currently we finished the introduction, intro to digital forensics. We will just move into security operations. Okay.
Okay.
Let me just tell you to practice some of these websites. Okay, like to practice CTFs. Um, yeah. So there are like I think two to three. Like we just try into Hub and Over the Wire.
Sorry.
Hub and Over the Wire. These are the two websites where you can practice these kinds of like CTFs.
World Hub.
Yeah, Hub.
World Hub.
Yeah, I will just write here.
Could you write?
Yeah, this is the Hub and Over the Wire. Yeah.
Okay.
Here you can just practice these kinds of things, right?
World Hub by design. What the wire? Okay.
Yeah. So we will just move forward into the next topic that is security operations.
Okay.
So okay. So first one is introduction to security operations. So our security operations center, that is SOC, is a team of IT security professionals tasked with monitoring a company's network and systems 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The purpose is to find vulnerabilities on the network, um, and detect unauthorized activity, then discover policy violation and detect intrusion and support with the incident response. So basically, security operations refers to activities and processes which are undertaken to protect and secure an organization's asset. Okay, like including their physical facilities, data, information system, and their employees and customers. So, like finding vulnerabilities on the network. So basically, vulnerabilities are the weaknesses which can be used by attackers to exploit and carry out various malicious activities in their permission level, right, into the target system. So when any of the vulnerability might be discovered in any of the devices software on the network, such as server or a computer. So, with the help, with the mindset of the ethical hacker, we must report that vulnerability, right? So, for instance, the SOC team basically they discover the vulnerabilities, and they, strictly speaking, they like they try to fix the vulnerability and report to the organization. Okay,
Sorry.
basically, SOC team they identify the vulnerability into any of the system of an organization, and after identifying the vulnerability, they try to fix it, and after fixing it, they report it to the organization. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. And second work is there is to detect unauthorized activity. So, like consider a case where an attacker discovered the username and password of one of the employees and used it to log in the company system. So it is crucial to detect this kind of unauthorized activity quickly before it causes any damage. So here, the SOC team basically they monitor this kinds of ongoing activities, like they detect unauthorized activity, and some of the any kind of malicious behavior is occurred in the network. They quickly report it to the organization, or they provide some of the preventive steps. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. And then discover policy violations. So a security policy is a set of rules and procedures which are created to help protect a company against security threats and ensure compliance. So, they work under some of the policy violations, like a security policy. Basically, they are the set of rules which are help created to help protect a company. So they work under that. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. And then detect intrusion. So intrusions refers to system and network intrusions. And one example scenario would be an attacker successfully exploiting our web application. And another example scenario would be user visiting a malicious site. So basically, when they detect any type of intrusion, the main purpose and the work of SOC team is to generally fix that intrusion and make the system in the normal stage. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and then support with the incident response. So yeah, support means like they observe all the incident, and after that, they basically provide preventive measures. Okay,
Okay.
yeah. So basically, the main work of SOC is to advanced monitoring tools. They make use of the advanced monitoring tools like threat intelligence capabilities and skilled analysts to identify, investigate, and respond to security events. The work is a work of SOC is this only. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So the first question is, what does SOC stand for? So it is
Security
Security
Operations.
Operations Centers. Yeah. And how many hours a day does the SOC monitor the network? Okay. So here only we have read 24 hours a day, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So next one is elements of security operations. So we'll talk about example data sources that SOC relies on, and then the services that SOC provides, and the an example scenario. So our data sources basically refers to the origin or location from which data is collected or obtained. Okay. So in the context of security operations and cybersecurity, various data sources are commonly used to gather information for monitoring, analysis, and decision-making purpose. So some examples of data sources are like network logs, then SIEM systems, IDS and IPS systems, then endpoint logs. So from these logs, the data are gathered. So here some sources are given like server logs. So here such as mail server, web server, and domain control server. Okay. And here DNS activity means domain name system. Basically, it is converting like uh, domain name into IP address, right? So
Okay.
yeah, so these activities are also informations are gathered, and then firewall logs, like which devices firewall has blocked or which devices it has allowed. Okay, and DHCP logs, like it is responsible for assigning an IP address to the system that try to connect to a network. So this also maintains all the logs which which were the systems which try to connect to that network. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So these are some of the most common data sources. However, many other sources can be used to aid in network security monitoring and the other tasks of the SOC. So a SOC might use a security information and event measurement system. Okay. So what are the services of SOC? So services of SOC are like monitor security posture. Like the primary role of the SOC is to monitor the network and uh, provide security alerts and notifications, right?
Okay.
Then management of vulnerability, like any of the vulnerabilities are found, then they first of all fix them and then they report it to the company. Okay. And then
Okay.
malware analysis. So they might recover malicious programs that reach the network, and basically the more advanced analysis requires sending into dedicated team. So once the malware is like entered into any system, they will analyze it. They will gather all the information like what are the risks related to malware and what it can affect. So all the analysis are made and it is sent to the team. Okay.
Okay.
And then intrusion detection, same like yeah, it detects and log intrusions and suspicious packets. And then reporting, yeah, it reports the incident and alarms. Okay. So proactive services refer to tasks handled by SOC without any indicator of an intrusion. So example proactive services carried out by the SOC include like network security monitoring. So this mainly focuses on monitoring the network data, like which are the traffic which were allowed or blocked by the firewall and which detected the signs of intrusion. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and threat hunting, which means like the SOC assumes an intrusion had on has already taken place. Like beforehand only, when the threat has not been affected the system, before only the SOC team basically they assume that like intrusion has already taken place, and what are the preventive measures we can take, so that before only they are prepared. So after, in case if the threat is like occurred into the computer system, so they can basically prevent it. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. And threat intelligence is that basically it focuses on learning about potential adversaries and their tactics. So they basically provide awareness and security training to like provide information and more knowledge about these kind of things. Okay. To provide or to improve the company's defenses. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So there is a scenario given, like one role in a SOC is a SOC analyst. So a SOC analyst is responsible for network security monitoring and log management. So let's consider the following scenario. While monitoring the network traffic, a SOC analyst notices a particular DNS query repeating every minute. So like there is a DNS query which is repeating every minute. Okay. So this behavior is not normal, that of a user browsing the internet, and every precisely 1 minute they are making a new DNS query. Okay.
Okay. So
Yeah.
it's unusual DNS query.
Yeah. This is unusual DNS query. Okay. So the SOC analyst checks the source of the DNS query and then identify the cause as one laptop of the network. Okay. So they isolate it and inspect it. So we have learned, right? Yeah. In the previous class that contamination.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is that only, that if the one laptop is affected, they contaminate it so that it do not like spread. Okay.
Okay.
So as a result, the laptop began communicating with a malicious server by hiding the message in DNS queries. Then the laptop is cleaned and threat hunting starts to ensure that no other computers are infected. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So what does NSM stands for?
Network security monitoring.
Yeah. Here it is written. All right. So you just practice this practical example of SOC, and you just tell me tomorrow, like it is it like what you understood and how you solved. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think that's enough for today.
Oh, yes, sure.
Yeah. So we'll continue. We will tomorrow we will start pre-security part. Okay.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah. So thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. See
Yeah.
you tomorrow.